We're live. Hey, good morning. I'm messing around right now. This is the 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show. I am Greg Mester, Scrum Master and Agile Coach, and this is our Thursday 485th episode, and it's a snow day. Ooh, all the kids are here. It's about 6:47 a.m. Been up and hanging around for a while, just checking stuff out and see what's going on. But I wanted to get up early and get on the YouTube, getting that rhythm, right? And get into the regular activities. So hope you're doing well today. This 5 a.m. Mester Scrum Show where we talk about Agile and Scrum in a practical and tactical way so you can get value to your customer and not work 60, 80 hours a week to get that value and get home to your family and friends to enjoy life and have a little fun in the office and at home. So yesterday I said I was going to I got a couple seminars today to go attend. I'm going to go attend them. I went to one yesterday. It was interesting. It was Kroger and talked about their marketing, using Agile in their marketing department and how they do that. It was really funny. They mentioned the book, The Sprint, which I always bring up on the show. And I don't have easy access to my book, but if I did, I would share it with you. But the book, The Sprint by Knapp is a real good book. What book is this? No, Lean Startup. Oh, wrong book. Looks like it though. It's a good book to have, and it talks about having that one little week of focus grouping activity, which is awesome. Anyway, so that's not the topic. Oh, and I want to congratulate the people of India. Launched a rocket today in the space, so good job for you. Keep it up, man. Keep launching. You can do it. You do all this other stuff. Why can't you launch rockets? So, title is Plans, Oh My, and Trading. So I want to talk about two things. I want to talk about how a plan helps visualize some stuff. We'll talk about that. And then I'm going to talk about trading complex for simple stories and how to maintain your velocity. Today's a snow day here on the East Coast and Northeast Coast. So it's a good day to talk about what happens when people aren't available to help you produce what you normally do, right? So, planning. This is the way I envision planning. Well, one, if you say there's no plans in Agile, then you're totally wrong. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now, you're totally wrong. We plan all the time. We just plan in smaller pieces. We don't plan months and months and years out in advance. We just plan like every day with the daily scrum and during this time box of the sprint. And sometimes if you do scale and safe, you kind of plan for 3 months. That's it. As far as we go. We don't plan anymore because it's a waste. It turned out, everybody knows it's a waste to make all that work. We don't do half of it. So why spend all that time and money writing down requirements and stories and epics and this and that for stuff that we're never going to do? It's a waste of money, waste of value to the customer. You should be spending the time building product and getting it to the customer's hands. That's what we do. So, but what do plans do? They help you visualize the risks that could potentially be there by sitting there and take your sprint planning day and laying out all the work you want to do. You can see where there's gaps or space or things that might collide or cause problems when you sit there and do the planning. So the planning helps you in your mind visualize what stuff is going to be happening, how things might fit together. We do plans like feature planning, right? We do a feature plan here. This story comes here, this story here. And so it gives us an idea how it should all flow out. And it's very important to do that. And the other reason why it's real important, change is still going to come. I mean, we embrace change and we know change is coming. So we don't ignore it and say, oh my God, the world's coming to an end because someone came down and changed things. By having the plans in place, we know what impact those changes are going to have on those plans to deliver what we originally wanted to give, and how do we adjust for these new changes. Without the plan, you go in panic mode because you have no idea how they would fit into each other and how they would work together, right? So that is why we have plans, and plans are good. So for them that don't want to plan, so you can't plan, but you're only planning for a little while, right? It's not that bad. But you really do want to have a plan so you can visualize when stuff comes, how to adapt for that change. It's how I lived my whole life being a program manager for years. Always new change was coming in, and where could I insert that, right? So that's why I had planned. I just want to talk about that, just to share that with you, and that misnomer, misbelief that there are no plans, and plans are all evil. Plans aren't evil; they're good. They help you out. Now, planning for the hell of it and just filling all this stuff for years to come, that's bad. Yeah, right. Anything out there should be like one little line in your plan, like a goal sheet. All right, Snowday, sprint planning adjustments. I want to offer this to you. During planning sessions where you got holidays coming up, there's going to be people out and things like that. And you have your velocity. Let's say your velocity is 40 points. I'm just making up a number. We're just going with the 40 points. When you have that velocity and you kind of want to maintain it, it's like, everybody's kind of cross-trained or not cross-trained. Some people are better at things. Some people are not. It just depends. Here's what I would like to suggest. When you have those holiday sprints, don't take on super complex projects or super complex stories. You know how we do when we do pointing, we do it a relative estimating, right? And then I add a factor on there about complexity, risks, and unknowns. So if you have a sprint where there's going to be a lot of people taking off on vacation or out or whatever, snow days potentially coming off, take on less complex work. So don't take on, so you got points, right? 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, instead of taking a 5-point story on, say, yeah, we normally could do 5 and 5 would work in our 40-point sprint, no big deal. Instead of doing a 5-point story, why don't you take 3 2-point stories, right? So you make them smaller and they're less complex stories that anybody on the team can perform. There's no worries about risks and complexity and things like that, because during the sprint where we know people are going to take off, we took maybe a couple more stories than normal, but we took stories that are less complex, things we know what we're doing, that we can get done, and we keep that churn and that velocity going and delivering content for the customer. We don't have to worry about not delivering at the end of the sprint. So that's my recommendation on it. Here's a snow day today. There's some sprint planning. We got some holidays coming up here in the States. My recommendation is don't take on those 5 and 8-point stories during your sprint. Substitute them, like I said, a 5-point story for maybe 3 2-point stories, maybe 2 2-point stories and a 1-point story. But they're less complex. That means anybody on the team can do the work, right? You get that? So anybody on the team can do the work. Therefore, if one person's out for a day because of snow or kids' holidays, who knows what, that everybody on the team can still pick up that work. There's no, only Greg can do that job because he's the only one who knows how to do it. And we plan this whole sprint around Greg doing this one job. So don't do that. You have the options not to do it. You can be creative with your backlog for your sprint. So I wanted to share those two things, especially on a snow day, a way of thinking about your sprint backlog and how to set it up for success and not for failure. So again, a couple things. Plans are good, so you understand what you're capable of doing. And when change comes, you know how to react and how much you can fit in and where you're going to be at and what do you need to do when you're done the change and you want to get back to where you're going. You have a good, and also you can set up a good stopping place, right? If you have a plan and you say someone's bringing this in, okay, but if you give me until like tomorrow, it's a good stopping place in our plan. We can put all this up, save it, and we can easily pick up on it later because it's just new work and we don't have to redo the other stuff, and then we'll take on this new job, right? So that's one. Plans are good. We do plan all the time. Anybody tells you we don't plan in Agile, my advice is to kick them out of the office right then and there and say, you don't know what the F you're talking about, right? Get out, because you just brought up something that's really stupid. Anyway, and then the last thing is snow days, holidays. Take control of your sprint backlog. Don't take on, even though you got 40 points of sprint. Oh, we can do 40 points. So we're going to do a couple 8-point stories, a couple 5-point stories. and then we'll do the rest. Substitute those 5 and 8 point stories for smaller stories. Like an 8-point story, maybe you do a 3-point story and a 5-point story, but make it in such a way that everyone can do everything no matter what. So when people take off for the holidays or out for snow days or whatever, everybody else can still pick up the work and you don't really get a hit in your velocity. Okay? Have a great day. Give us a thumbs up. Tell your friends, share what we got. Ring the little bell so you get notification when we go live. And I hope you have a good, safe day here in the Snowday on the East Coast. And congrats to India for launching a rocket today. Keep it up. I'm looking forward to it. I saw that this morning. I didn't know it was doing it. I was like, woo! So at 5 a.m. in the morning, I'm watching a rocket launch. All right, take care of y'all. Have a great day and happy scrumming. See you tomorrow.